we did some famous campaigns, or the team did. You can never claim it as the CEO, but the Rhonda and Ketut campaign for AAMI, and the names on the side of the cans of Coke, the Share a Coke campaign. So incredible.
And you guys did the name thing.
Yeah, and that went all around the world. That was out of the Sydney office. Went all around the world. I was running the Melbourne office when the brief originally went into the agency, and it was actually pitched out to all of Coca-Cola's agencies at the time. So there was probably 5 or 6 different agencies, the media agency, the PR agency, that all worked on it. And the brief was around that teenagers were drinking obviously less Coke, and it dropped quite significantly. And at the time, one of the insights was that was when social had just started, sort of 2010, 2011, and every kid wanted their 15 seconds of fame. Not 15 minutes, 15 seconds. And nowadays that's the norm, right? And so one of the young creative teams came up with the concept of, well, why wouldn't we put the 150 most popular names in Australia of teenagers, because you can backtrack to when they were all born and figure out what they were, and why don't we put those on the cans? And the idea the Coca-Cola team really liked, and when I then got promoted to be the CEO nationally, sort of as this was all happening. So and then it was about, how do you make sure a great idea like this continues to live on and stay sold? Because the challenge is, nowhere in the world had they ever taken the logo off the can of Coke.
Oh, so the logo wasn't on the can; it was just the name.
Yeah.
So that's a big
Right.
deal
within the swirl, right? But it would say, Daniel rather than Coca-Cola, right? So, and then how do you change the printing and the manufacturing plant to enable that to happen? So there's a lot of logistics sometimes. So you can have great ideas, but actually executing them really, really well is hard. They then built a machine that you could go to Westfield, and literally, if you weren't one of the 150 and you wanted your name on there, you could go to the Westfield, type your name in, and there was queues for miles, and get that printed on a can immediately. I think at the time there was probably 4,000 or 5,000 names that we had to say no to, because there was religious names and we didn't want Pepsi on a Coke can, So just thinking through these things, and there's moments in time where these ideas...
Yeah, that's complex.
Yeah, these ideas can fall away and just everyone goes, it's too hard. Now, they've now run that in over 100 countries around the world, that campaign. And it's been a huge success. One of the things I reflect on is, how do you charge for an idea like that, right? Because most professional services organisations, consulting firms still would just charge by the hour. Well, it took our people this long. But that idea has created $1 billion of value.
Yeah, how do you charge?
How do you charge? So, but the tradition's always been just to charge by.
Well, I guess the thinking behind that is, if you're the better agency, you have the better idea. Your idea with Coke was so good, other agencies are going to want to pay you. Not agencies. Clients. Other companies, clients come pay you. They'll pay you more because you're that good. We want to. You got to hire per hour. You can get cheaper lawyers than other lawyers, so it can be the same. Same kind of concept.
And a lot of people's careers did very well out of that. I was just lucky enough to be the CEO who was there when it all happened, and all you can do is encourage everybody to keep pushing and keep this thing sold, and that it's a great idea and we shouldn't let it die and all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So,
well, problem solving, like you were saying, we just got to solve enough problems that there aren't anymore. We can just do it.
Yeah.
And it's just like business.